Hi all, today we are going to be making this space jump animation. Now I've actually made 3 versions and all of them are available for download from my website for completely free of charge. So stay around to the end and I'll show you how you can do that. Now this project is extremely easy, super fun, so let's get into it. So here we are inside of DaVinci Fusion. The first thing I'm going to do is bring in a background node and connect it across like this. Now normally I would have you click on the background node, come over to the right hand side, go down to the bottom and take the alpha all the way down to 0 like that. But we're actually going to do a trick with it, so definitely don't do that. We now need to build our 3D world and all the things for that exist here on our toolbar just here. So what we're going to do is we are going to bring in a shape 3D, a merge 3D. We're actually going to use 2 of those. And the reason I do that is I like to connect my objects to one and I like to connect my cameras and lights to the other. Speaking of cameras and lights, let's connect a camera in and a light. Now in order to take all of this out into our 2D world, what we need to do is bring in something called a render 3D. I'm going to connect that across like that. Take the output from that and connect it in like so. Now we're not seeing anything at the moment. Let's put our shape 3D in the window on the left like that, and if I click here and go into perspective view, what you'll see is we've actually got a plane, which is not what we want. So we're going to click on the shape 3D, come up to the right hand side and change it from plane to sphere like that. Now if I zoom in, you can see the edges are quite harsh just there. So what we need to do is up the base subdivisions like so, and then it smooths it right out. Now in the right hand window you'll see everything is white, and the reason for that is the camera is in the same position as our object. So if I go to the top view like this, then just grab our camera, grab this blue arrow like that and just pull it back in its Z. Oh, I'm pulling the object. Let's select the camera. If I pull the camera back like that, you can see it was right inside of our object. So let's put our camera to about there. Just move it across like something like that and just move it in just a fraction that's about there. We're nearly there, guys. Right, let's connect our textures in. Before I do that, I'm going to click on the shape 3D, good housekeeping, F2 on it, and we'll call it globe like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the right hand side. I downloaded these images from Wikipedia. And I'm going to click on that. I'm going to call it Earth. Hit OK. I'm actually then going to bring in a merge like this, and the reason for that is because we're connecting 2 images to the globe, and I want to show you something. Now you would think to rotate the Earth, but what you would do is click on the globe, come up to the right hand side, go to transform, go down to rotate, and then just rotate it in the Y. But it's not joining together properly there, but it's not a major problem because I wasn't going to do it like that anyway. So what we'll do is we'll Control Z on that. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the Earth, click on it and add a transform node to it. I'm going to make sure I'm right at the beginning by clicking here. And if I click on the transform and come up to the right hand side, you can see that I can move the Earth up and down how I want it to be, like a sir. So let's get it to a place that we want it to start. So let's have it start there, like that. I'm going to click a keyframe on the center X and Y like that, and then I'm going to go to this one and go all the way to the end, and then what I'm going to do is just rotate it in its X like that. Just subtle, not too much. There we are. So if I play that back, you can see we're just getting a subtle movement. Let's do the same for the clouds. So here we are. I'm going to bring in the clouds, F2, good housekeeping, call them clouds. And then I'm going to take that and connect it into our merge as well. And as soon as I do that, you can see they come in. Let's do the same thing again. So with the cloud selected, I'm going to hit transform. I'm going to go right to the beginning by clicking the arrow. Then what I'm going to do is click a keyframe. Then I'm going to go right to the end. And instead of going in the same direction, I'm actually going to go in the opposite direction. So I'm just going to move the clouds over like that. And once we go through the timeline, you can see we get a nice effect. Now the only thing I don't like is I think the clouds are a bit too prominent, and the way you fix that is if you just go to this merge just here and then go down to blend you can change the amount the clouds come in and out like that. Very cool. Right, let's make it look a bit more realistic. It's looking a bit plasticky at the moment. And the way you do that is click on this Render 3D just here. Come over to the right hand side. Under Software Renderer, change it to Hardware. Then you need to enable lighting and shadows like that. And the first thing you'll notice is everything goes black. Not a problem. What we're going to do is we're going to click on this light, put it in the left hand window like so. We'll make sure it's selected, come across to the transform section just here, go down, and you see here where it says use target, click on that. And what that means is wherever I move that light, it will always target our Earth. How cool is that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to about there. Now one thing you'll notice is we're getting this highlight here on our Earth. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to change the cone angle here to 90 degrees like so. Now to fix that hot spot on the Earth, click on the globe. Then what you need to do is go to materials, this one just here. See here where it says specular, open that up and play with this intensity just here. And then you can also play with the exponent to get a nice look as well, like that. Right, now what we need to do is copy this light. So I'm going to click on it, right click and hit copy, blank area, Control V to paste, and then we can just attach that like so. Now clicking on this light, I need to come over to the control section. You see here where it says decay type, it says no decay. What that means is it doesn't matter how far or close the light is, it will never kind of fade off. So we're actually on this light, we're going to change it to quadratic like that, and look at that, it gives us a completely different look. We're also going to increase this one here, the penumbra, which I can never say, and what that essentially is doing is increasing the softness of our light edge. We can also increase and decrease the intensity if we wish. Take it to 10. That's looking pretty good to me. Right, let's do our Earth zoom now, and the way I did that was by clicking on the camera, click on the arrow here, go all the way to the beginning of our animation. Come up to the transform section just here and click a keyframe on all of these. When I go to frame 40, the quickest way to do it is just come here and type in 40. And we're going to do exactly the same thing again, like that. We're now going to go back to our first keyframe. And on the Z here, we can actually move in and out. So we're going to go really far till we almost can't see the Earth, like that. Now, when I play that back, now it's not looking particularly brilliant, and the reason for that is we need to go inside the camera just here, click on the spline control tool just here, and make sure the camera is selected, turn off the Y and the X, then come across here and it zoomed to fit like that. Select all your keyframes and then hit S on your keyboard to smooth it out. And then what you want to do is you want to grab this top one here, so select this top one and then just pull it right out like that. And if you want, you can also do the reverse here, pull that in like that, and it just gives us that look that we're after. Let's play that back on the timeline and see how that looks. Right, that looks pretty good to me. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to nudge the camera in a bit more when it hits its last spot. So I've clicked on the camera, I'm going to come up to the right hand side and I'm just going to go there. Then on the Z, I'm just going to hold this control key and just nudge it in just a bit like that. That looks a bit better to me. Right, next thing we're going to do is take it to the next level and we're going to add some stars. So I downloaded these off Vector Easy, good housekeeping. F2, we'll call it stars. Now if I put them in the window like this and then go through it, it goes blank, and the reason for that is the star video is shorter than the composition. So clicking on the stars, come over to the right hand side and make sure you hit loop like that. Take the output of that and then connect it into your merge. Now if I put that in the window, well, you get nothing, and that is because the stars have come in as the foreground. We know that because this line is green, so what we need to do is click here, go right click and hit swap inputs like that, and there's our planet. But we've made a mistake, and that mistake is the star composition is actually bigger than our composition. So what we need to do is click on the stars, shift space bar, and we're looking for something called a resize, which is this one here. When I add that, it all comes in nice and clean. Right, so our planet hits at frame 40, and if I go across to this background alpha just here and move the alpha down, we can see the stars coming behind it. So let's animate that. So what we'll do is we'll go to say frame 30. We're going to click a keyframe on the alpha. Then we're going to go to frame 45, and then we're going to take the alpha all the way down to 0 like that. So when we play that back, we go from black, 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 black into stars like that. Right, we can also do an animation with the stars, and how we do that is we're going to click on the resize just here, going to hit shift space bar, and we're looking for a directional blur. I've already used it, so let's do that again. BLUR. Now be careful because there's two of them. The one we want is this one here. So we'll add that. You know you've got the right one when it's got the glow on it. The other one doesn't have that. Make sure you put the directional blur in the window like so. We're going to go to frame 35. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click a keyframe on the length and the glow like that. Then we're going to go to frame 60. Actually, we'll take that down. We'll take it to frame 50. And then what we're going to do is hit a keyframe again. Go back to the first one. Increase the length to about there, and then increase the glow. Let's play that back and see how that looks. So playing that back, I think the stars come in a little bit early, so let's fix that. It's really easy to do. What we need to do is we're going to click on the background node just here. If we come up here to keyframes and then go here and just drop them down, what we can do is hit this one to zoom to fit like that. We can just select them like that and just nudge them across, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do exactly the same thing to the blur node. So here's our directional blur. Come up to the keyframes just here, drop down here, zoom to fit just to make sure, and then just nudge them along a little bit like that. Let's play that back and see how that looks. Yeah, that looks a lot better to me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going to leave all of these project files on my website. You can download them for absolutely free of charge. All you need to do is go down, hit subscribe, and then go to the website, put in your email address. Don't worry, I hate spam, so I will not be spamming you. And you can download this project and any of my other projects for completely free of charge. If you've got any comments or suggestions, leave them below. I do love reading them, and I will see you in the next one.